Hey, good morning. Hey, good morning. How are you doing? Hey, Disaster First Nation, studyration. Africa. Yes, the continent Africa. They say Africa for the Africans. Who are the Africans? Again, I say, they say Africa for the Africans. Who are the Africans? Who are Africans? What make you to become an African? What make you an African? Who are African? I'm not an African. I'm not a Muslim. I'm not a Jew. Not an Arab. All those are gangs. Yeah. Those are gangs. Black gang, white gang, Chinese gang. Those are gang. So we're Africans. What make you an African? I see my people. Africa will soon be taken away from you, the people, upon the continent of Africa. Again, I say, you, the people, up on the continent of Africa. Africa will soon be taken away from you. Why did Uganda sold out Gaddafi? Again, a question from the west to the east. Why did the Ugandans sold out Gaddafi? 42 years Gaddafi spent. His blood, his sweat, his tears, his life given to a people. And thy people sold him out. Thy people give him over unto the evil authority. Look what become of Libya. Look at it now. It is plundered and it is taken away from the people. You are losing all your gold and your wealth and your land. You, the people upon the continent of Africa, you will soon be like tenants in Africa. The leaders in Africa, you fight many wars against each other, tribally. Africa is crumbled. Belgium, France, Italy, England, America, Europe. The so-called term Africa is crumbled. The land is crumbled. It is divided unto the colonial master. And these colonial masters from the West, they use the leaders in Africa, who they colonize, to fight against each other in Africa. And up till today, the Africans does not see that. They are losing the land. They are losing their history. The people upon the continent of Africa soon be tenants, just like the people in the Western world. The people upon the continent of Africa soon will be tenants. Far too long, you have been oppressed by each other. The leaders in Africa are not uniting. At no point in time. The leaders in Africa are always at war with each other. The leaders of Africa always solding out each other. to gain respect from the European and Western powers. From the dawning of the Africans, you have been selling your people into Europe. Guns, ammunition, and corruption. Will Africa ever unite? Can religion unite Africa? Can politics unite Africa? Will Africa ever unite? I ask you again. Will Africa ever unite? Africa is crumbled. The people are divided. And the people are colonized. The people are manipulated. I say unto you again, the land in Africa will soon be taken away at full-fledged and full flight by Western and European powers. And you, the people upon the continent of Africa, will soon be tenants, I say unto you again, by reasons of the corrupted leaders upon the continent of Africa, who continually sold out each other to seek recognition in Europe and the Western world. You will soon be tenants upon a place which was yours. Will Africa ever unite? Can religion, can politics, can these things unite Africa? From the dawning of the Africans, they have been seeking world power and dominion over each other. Again I say, leaders in Africa ventured into contract, into Europe, into the Western world, seeking their aid and strength just to fight against an African leader. Look what you've done to Gaddafi. Look what you had done to Gaddafi. 42 years he stand up against the beast of colonialism, the Western and the European power. He created enough enemy upon himself for you, the Africans, to survive. And you, the Africans, sold out Gaddafi. You combined and sold out the power which the European and the Western power feared. The man at the moment. Gaddafi was that man at that moment. Gaddafi was that man at that moment. Will Africa ever unite? Will Africa ever unite? Who are Africans? Who are Africans? Are Africans leaders who sold out another African leader, seeking the front page of a newspaper in the Western world or Europe? Is that an African? Is the African a person or a leader or a system who sold out another tribe for recognition in Europe or the Western world? Africa, you need nothing. Your soil is rich. You have gold. You have mineral. You have wealth. You have history. Enough is there for you all to live and share and unite. So why solding out each other? To get the front page of a paper or make a news headline in the Western world or in Europe? Will Africa ever unite? From one end of the Sahara Desert onto the next end, will you ever unite? Remember the days of the sub-Saharan slave trade. The sub-Saharan slave trade, it was you Africans who were selling out Africans. Again I say, the sub-Sahara slave trade. It was you who was fighting against each other up on the continent. The Arabs, the Muslim, the Jews, the Christians, the pagans. You all have been perpetrators amongst yourself up on the continent of Africa. Again I say, you all have been perpetrators against each other upon the continent of Africa. Is not all of you sons and daughters of Abraham? Is not all of you the children upon the so-called today Africa? Is not all of you the sons and daughters of Abraham? Aren't you all the children of the Sumerians? Aren't you all the children of the Babylonians? Aren't you all the children of the Ethiopians? Aren't you all the children of the Cushites? Aren't you all the children of the Arabs? You are all one big family. The Arabs, the Jews, the Muslims, the Gentiles. You are all one big family. When will you unite? When will you unite? Abraham, Esau, Jacob, two brothers. Abraham is there. All of them, both of them, have their merit unto Abraham. Both Esau and Jacob. Ishmael and Isaac, the fathers. Esau and Jacob, the sons. Esau, Edom, Rome. Again I say to you, I'm speaking to my people up on the continent of Africa. Esau, Edom, Rome is the brother of Jacob, Israel. Jacob and Esau, today you are causing too much trials and tribulation upon humanity, and you are brothers. Rome and the Israelites are families, they are cousins, they are uncles, they are aunties. Edom, Esau, Edomite, Esau, the Catholic, Rome. Jacob, Israel, the Sabbath, the Shabbat. One house, one family. The Muslim, the Jews, the Gentiles, the Arabs, the Christians, they all have the same right. You are just one family. Why you are separated within and among yourselves, seeking superiority over among yourselves? Okay. From Babylon, Timbuktu. The Sumerians, Babylonians, Ethiopians were black people. They contributed much to the civilization and advancement because they studied astrology. They were capable of the formulating of many principles of astronomy. These people were black. These people were black. The Babylonians were black people. The Sumerians were black people. The Ethiopians were black people. You are all black people. So why you strive against each other? The Canaanites are black people. But you fight against each other. Not until the philosophy which hold a race superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned, everywhere will be war. Everywhere will be war. Africa must unite to save the continent. It's your continent. You, the people there, it's your continent. I'm not an African. I know who I am. I know my history. I know where I'm from. So don't expect the people in the Western world to come and fight for you, who you continually sold and turn your backs up on. No one around here in the Western world owns any land in Africa. Listen again. No one in the Western world, no African American, no Jamaican African, no English African owns any land in Africa. It is you, the Africans, who own that land. You must fight. You must stand up and fight and liberate yourselves and free yourself from the corruption amongst yourselves. If any person, for instance, if I, say that I'm an African, as a person in Jamaica, here in Jamaica, not knowing an African language, not having an African family on the continent of Africa, not having any land upon the continent of Africa. For me, a Jamaican here to go to Africa, I have to have my passport and proper documents. When I reach in Africa, I'm a visitor. I'm not an African. So don't tell me that we here in the Western world is African. When I reach on the continent of Africa, I'm a visitor. I got to pay all my bills and live by the criterias of your governmental system in Africa. I have to pay for my hotel. I got to pay for my stay. I got to pay for everything. I have no family there. No one declares me. No one owns me. So almost I be an African. I speak not an African language. So what are you going to say? It was taken from me. Rubbish. Listen this. Stand up and fight. Because we in the Western have not a square, nor an inch, nor a drip of land in Africa, nor own a drip of diamond, nor gold in Africa. It is you, the Africans. It is you. It is you. It is you. It is you. If I leave from the Western world, again, I say, when I reach up on the continent, I'm a visitor. And I have to stay according to my time length, the stay that I get. Being an artist, I cannot work without a permit. So how must I be an African? You, the people up on the continent of Africa, are Africans. You who claim yourselves to be African on the continent of Africa, you are Africans. Why aren't you not uniting? Why you kill Gaddafi? Why you fight against every leader who come to uplift you? It is your land, your diamond, your gold, your desert. It's happening for too long. It's happening for too long. We, the people in Jamaica, have done so much unto Africa. What have Africa done for us as Jamaicans? We, the people of Jamaica, do so much for Africa, physically, mentally, and spiritually. What does Jamaica, we the people of Jamaica, receive for what we have done for her? We have not received anything. We have not received anything. Mark, I don't need repatriation. I don't need repatriation. I don't need reparation. I was never a slave. I've become a prisoner in my own home. This is my home. The land of the sea bunny, the land of the red weir people, the land of the red pot people. This is my home. 65 million years ago, when that asteroid rock fell upon Earth, my people were here. This is my land. This is where my people played. This is where my people growed. This is the fields my people planted up in. This is the land of my birth. I'm not an African. When will Africa unite? When will Africa unite? You are falling from within, Africans. Over and over and over and over again, you are falling from within. It's you. It's you. Africa must unite. Africa, you must unite. You're dying from within. You are a great people. You carried so many names. You are the children of Ham. You are the Ethiopians. You are the Cushites, the Nubians, Libyans, Liberians. You are the Sumerians. You are a great people, Africa. Africa, you fall from your glory. Just like we in the Western world, we fall from our glory. And we all got to liberate ourselves. We all are dying from within, with religion and politics and corruption and paganism amongst ourselves. Is not it man who made God, or is it God who made man? I ask again, is it not man who made God, or is it God made man? None of you saw God made man. Man made God. Put him on sticks and stones and images, giving representation and power. Using the vibration of force and evil energy upon each other to bow down to your statue and images, creating war and confusion. With your man-made gods, your gods which are carved from hands and inks and paints. Those are what which you use to corrupt this creation and corrupt each other. Black God, white God. God is like water. Remember, my people, I say God is like water. You put water into a bottle, water take its form. You put it into a cup, it take its form. You put it into a bin, it take its form. You put the water into a pot, it take its form. So speaking of God, we are all the children of God. We are all. We are all. If we're speaking upon the process of spiritual water, I'm the essence of water. Water is life. Water can be a God. But when you bow down on your knees and because and worshiping and creating an image and a deity, it's wrong. So I say, gods are made by man, the hands and thought and consideration of man. Stop going to war, my people. Religion and politics. Stop dividing to rule. The Moors, 1492, the Inquisition began. And the Moors, the black people, ruled this earth for almost 800 years. From one end of the Sahara Desert onto the next end, screeching into the Western world. Yes, the Moors. So don't ever think black men and women and children were not leaders of this world. But they fell from grace of their glory. They rob, they kill, they're plundered, they destroy families, they enslave. And so then done to others, it was done unto them. In 1492, the Inquisition, ordered by Spain and the Rome, Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand, Granada was taken away from the Moors, and the Moors were dispersed, overthrown, and scattered. Now today, Esau, Rome, replaced the Moors. Rome will not last to see 1,000 years. The Rome today, the system of Rome today will fall. The system of Rome today will fall. It won't last for 1,000 years, my people. Be strong. Be strong, my people. Love not this world, nor the things thereof. Because he or she who loveth this world have not the love of their mother nor father, nor their brother nor sister, nor the living, creeping, nor crawling things upon this earth, above nor below. We are nothing but one people. Black man is a gang, white man is a gang, China man is a gang. No, we are just one people, regards to race. Africa, you are losing it. Africa, I say, Africans will soon be tenants upon their continent. Again, I say unto you, Africans, you all soon will be tenant. Got to have title for a little square or an acre land to live or to plant. Africa is crumbled. Africa is taken away. Africa has been corrupted from deep within. You sold out Gaddafi. You sold out Gaddafi. You sold out Gaddafi. You sold out Gaddafi. You sold out every leader who tried to unite you. You sold out Gaddafi. Who will emancipate you? Just as the people in the Western world, they killed Marcus Garvey, they killed Sir Alexander Bedward, they killed Malcolm X, they killed Paul Bogle, they killed Sam Sharp, they killed Martin Luther King, they killed John Brown, they killed Harriet Tubman. Everywhere in the world your liberators rise, you kill them. So who will redeem you? Who will redeem you? Who will redeem you? Again, I'm not an African. I'm not a Muslim. I'm not a Jew. I'm not a Christian. Non-political organizer. None. Who will free you when you, the people, continually kill your liberators? I see a common thing continues. One group formed and the organization is formed to protect and to speak for thy people. Then another group formed fighting against that group. So you have about 10, 15 black groups, and all these groups, they clash against each other. They fight against each other because why? They are getting finance from the evil agenda same way. So no matter the cause, they will clash because they are all different organizations. And most organizations which are formed is formed upon the benefits, to get benefits off of the poor people, to get benefits off of the have-not. We sponsor these organizations. The Maroons. I'm not a Maroon. The Moors are Maroon. The Moors are Maroons. The Maroons came upon this land they call today now Jamaica. My parents give the Africans, the Moors, the Maroons hospitality. And the Maroons came upon this land and fight against us as the native. The Maroon, England and Spain. Moors, England and Spain. They are nothing but one people, one set of colonizers. So our land was taken and divided by the Maroons, the Moors, the Spanish and the English. So today now in Jamaica, the Maroons get 500 acres of land and they are put on a $500 bill to represent that. The Maroons were the one who were capturing back runaway slaves and giving back unto the government, the English government. The Maroons were the one who caught and captured Paul Bogle, Sam Shard, and George William Gordon. The Maroons are colonialists. The Maroons, the Moors, they deal with enslavement. They rob, they take, they plunder. So don't speak as if I'm a Maroon. I'm not a Maroon. Religion, politics, names are brands. And no colonial system can brand me. Being a black man, you are already bland. Being a black man, you are already brand. And look at the meaning of black man and what black man represent. I'm not a black man. Look what white man represent. Look what brown man represent. All these are gangs. Gangs. Not until the philosophy, which all one race superior and another inferior, is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned, it will be barred. Because the black man will say God is his, and the white man will say God is his, and the Chinaman will say God is his. You think a black man God will accept your white God? Don't think a black man will accept your white God. You think say a white man will accept your black God? Don't think say a white man will accept your black God. You think say a Chinaman I go accept your white God or your black God. A Chinaman now go accept none of no God. You think the pagan them I go accept the white God or the black God or the Chinese God. All out a gang, pirate, robber, killer, murderer. All out. So some kill people in a Jesus name. Some kill people in a Allah name. Some kill people in a Muhammad name. Some kill people in a all sort of name. All out a gang. You understand? All out a gang. So no come tell me no Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. Matthew, Mark, Luke and John, them they no exist. Maybe we can understand something about the Bible. Matthew, Mark, Luke and John, them they no exist. And Paul write the whole of that there. Them the whole of them there. And Paul a gunman. Paul a swordman. Paul is a pirate like Christopher Columbus. Paul is a bounty hunter. So the entire New Testament, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Romans, Corinthians, 1 Corinthians 2, all of them there, Galatians, name them, Paul, all of those are Paul writing. And none of them man didn't know, none of them man never walk with Jesus. None, not one, none of them. If a man named Jesus on earth, none of them man never walk with him. Matthew, Mark, Luke, nor John, not even blood clean Paul, because Paul couldn't live in. The writing of Jesus start 40 years after the passing, and the next writing go 70, 80 years. So none of them man didn't walk with Jesus, none of them man didn't power with Jesus, none of them man didn't know Jesus. No, the Old Testament belonged to Moses. The Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible belong to Moses. Moses, a warrior, a military leader, a killer, a murderer. He take land in a God name, in a fit him God name. So, the Old Testament is written by a killer. And the New Testament is written by a killer. The Bible is written by two murderers. Old Testament is written by a murderer. The New Testament is written by a murderer. So within the Bible is just manipulation and war and killing and family contention and genocide over land and politics and God. Breaking down the Bible, it gonna quantum physics, it gonna chemistry, it gonna science, it gonna hobby, it gonna witchcraft. So why would I use the story of Moses the murderer and Paul the murderer and I go at war? Why I do it? Why creation I do that? It's two gunman doctrine, you know. A two gunman doctrine you have around the earth, you know. You understand? Two military doctrine you have around the earth, you know. Yes, two military doctrine. That's why enough of them talk about them Armageddon and them last day and them final judgment and them this. Because the fuck of them a plan for war. Them a plan for go to a blood clot war. That's why enough of them a try to find space to live and know they have space to live because it's a flat earth. Let me tell you this. That's why enough of them a try to get space to live and enough a try to find place under water to go. Because them know the war them are create among the people them. Them know the destruction where them are plan for the people them. And there's no space to go live. Nothing can live out of space. Nothing. And by ocean, some rash creature they were bigger than mankind. I told them not come up yet. You wait till you see the earth, hope up on the ocean, hope up. You go see some creature like creature where you never see before. What you talk about, man? What you talk about? So you see this politics and this religion and this science. We now go down a deep judgment road. And as I say again, Africa and the people in the continent of Africa want to so happy start pay rent and lease and land tax. Want to soon be tenant because the leaders in the African land corrupt and envious and evil and sell out each other to Europe and America, Belgium, Italy, France, Spain, America, Europe, Germany, name them, Russia. The leaders in Africa sell out each other to have one of them the friend. Yeah. So you see, when them say United States of Africa, no one never name Africa, nothing name Africa. The Sub-Sahara. And they want to unite the both ends of the Sub-Sahara and call the whole like Africa. And call it United States of Africa. And that is blood clot colonization. So when you are complaining about the United States of Africa, that is colonization, which is not going to be governed by no leader up on the continent of Africa because when you kill Gaddafi. You fucking fool. That are governed by Europe and the Western world. The United States of Africa will be governed by Europe and the Western world. Back by your gold and diamond and silver and land, you fucking fool. You lose the vision. Can you kill Gaddafi? So you lose the way. And now Europe and the Western world form the BRICS. Yes? Now the BRICS, when they talk about United States of Africa, in the BRICS, no African leader is the head of the BRICS. No African leader is the head of the BRICS. All African leaders will be working under the leadership of the BRICS. And the BRICS are blood clot European and Western here, same on a fucking fool, you know. So don't think the United States of Africa will be governed by corrupted bomb-clad leader upon the continent who sell out each other. It will be governed by European and Western ears. Backed by gold and island land. So about turn tenant. About turn tenant. When I go lose on the land. And I lose no value. And I lose no wealth. And turn tenant. And I then know you talk about you want to get blood clot colonized. Then about the United States have no blood clot Africa. Eh? You think about United States of Africa about. Eh? A United States of Africa must be formed on the land of Africa with the leaders of Africa, without European leaders without Western leaders, that is when you say you create a real United States of Africa. Almost you create a United States of Africa through fucking Europe and blood clot the Western world. That is colonization. That is colonization. Almost you form a United States of Africa outside the land of Africa, coming into the land of Africa. Don't you see that BRICS or whosoever is proceeding this, they are coming to take your land and your assets by force, not by your will, by force, with your own vision. Gaddafi create others. When I sold it out, when I sold the vision and kill the visioneer, fucking fool. BRICS. How must BRICS be formed outside of Africa with European leaders like Russia and all these blood-clad people? Blood-clad Russia for the blood-clad Africa. Blood-clad Russia for the Africa blood-clad business. I am not an African and me can see from the outside what is happening unto you. Because it was done unto our people. The fucking fool, you know. China. Africa, you can't leave me speechless or ass. You're crazy. You are crazy. Almost you have a United States of Africa and the table of IFA is spinning outside of Africa. When the table of IFA should be turning on the continent of Africa, and you now sit down on the continent of Africa as the leaders of Africa, the leader of Congo, the leader of Kenya, the leader of Zimbabwe, the leader of here, the leader of here, the leader of here, the leader of here, and upon the continent, the leader of Egypt, the leader without European and Western power into blood clot venture. That is the creation of the United States of blood clot Africa. The United States of Africa, which is created now, don't you see that it is USA? You fucking fool. It's another USA when I go get on and fuck around it. Another USA. Just like the Western USA, as soon as I get another USA. It's not all that glitter is gold. The city they will never get. Can we see all the people in Africa gone astray now? Gone astray. Enough of them lost onto the Western consciousness. United States of Africa is another United States of America. Same treatment you never get. Because of the same organization. I come around them. And them a farm bricks. And them a run bricks. So what them do first, I try to kill out the strong old them out of Africa. Like Gaddafi and them man there. And leave out the weaker leaders them. Where Europe and the Western world can unite. So Africa, mark my word, we'll soon be tenant up of the continent. Tenant. United States of Africa. This will be a United States of America. Same treatment. It is Rasta First Nation Studyration. Till we meet again. Have fun. Walk safe. Drive good. One love, one people, one blood.